Okay, can we talk about automation for a second? Not in a funnels and workflows and zap this to that way, in a how does this actually feel to run way? Because somewhere along the way, build systems quietly turned into remove yourself. And I don't know about you, but the first time I opened one of my own automated email sequences and thought, who wrote this? I had a moment like, oh, I built a machine and I'm not even inside it anymore. That's weird. Look, I'm very pro system. You cannot run a sustainable business on vibes and memory alone. You will burn out. Ask me how I know. But I've also watched something else happen. Really thoughtful founders build really efficient ecosystems. Everything triggers perfectly. The onboarding is streamlined. The nurture sequence runs like clockwork. The launches are automated and they're exhausted. Not because they're doing too much, because it doesn't feel like them anymore. It feels sterile, like they outsourced their personality to a Google Doc 3 years ago and never revisited it. And here's where I want to be careful. This is not a systems are bad speech. This is not me saying you need to write every email live while dramatically staring out a rain streaked window. That's not hospitality. That's chaos. What I'm curious about is this. When you automate something, what philosophy is driving it? Is it built to extract or is it built to welcome? Those feel different. I think about this like a restaurant. You know I would. The best restaurants in the world are insanely systematized. Reservations are tight. Timing is precise. Courses are orchestrated. But you never feel processed. You feel cared for. There's a rhythm, a steadiness, a sense that someone thought about the experience. That's hospitality. And it scales. That's the part that matters. Now compare that to walking into a place where everything is technically efficient, but no one makes eye contact. The food is fine. The timing is fine, but something is missing. You leave thinking, that was fine, and you never go back. That's what happens when automation optimizes for efficiency but forgets about humanity. And here's the sneaky part. When your marketing starts feeling like that to other people, it also starts feeling like that to you. You don't hate your business, you just feel weird inside it. I've worked with founders who scale beautifully on paper. Revenue up, audience growing, systems humming. And they'll say something like, I don't know why, but I feel disconnected. That word shows up a lot. Disconnect from their list, from their offers, from the work itself. And 9 times out of 10, it's not a strategy issue. It's that somewhere along the way, they optimize the human out of the system. Not maliciously, just incrementally. One efficiency at a time. Hospitality in marketing isn't about being overly available. It's not about replying to emails at midnight because someone might be nervous. It's about building systems that still feel like a person lives inside them. For example, you can absolutely automate onboarding, but does it sound like a lawyer drafted it? Or does it sound like you welcoming someone in? You can absolutely write a nurture sequence, but does it assume the reader is a brain with a wallet or a human with context? You can absolutely run evergreen, but does it normalize discernment? Or does it quietly shame someone for not buying fast enough? Those are tiny tonal shifts, but they compound. And here's something I've noticed. When systems are built around pressure, you feel pressured maintaining them. When systems are built around urgency, you feel urgency all the time. And when systems are built around steadiness, you feel steady. You don't escape your energy when you automate, you scale it, which is either very good news or mildly alarming, depending on how you've built things. There's also this myth that hospitality slows growth, that if you aren't pushing, you're losing. I haven't found that to be true. I found that hospitality attracts the right kinds of buyers who don't need to be convinced every 5 minutes. They come in steady. They stay longer. They refer more. They don't churn the second something feels slightly inconvenient because the entire ecosystem feels stable. Stable is underrated. Let me say something else a little carefully. Burnout doesn't always come from doing too much. Sometimes it comes from running something that doesn't feel aligned with how you move through the world. If your values are relational and your systems feel transactional, there's friction. Friction is exhausting. And you can override that friction for a while. You can just follow the model. You can copy what's working for someone else. But eventually you'll sit down and think, why does this feel off? That's not weakness. That's discernment. So I'm not here to tell you to rip out your automations. Please don't. I'm inviting you to look at them differently. Open your onboarding. Read it out loud. Does it sound like you? Open your evergreen pitch. Does it assume the buyer is intelligent and capable? Look at your follow-ups. Do they feel like reminders or warnings? None of this is about perfection. It's about orientation. What would make your systems feel like a conversation instead of a conveyor belt? What would make them feel steady instead of urgent? And what would make you proud to run them for the next 5 years? Because you can build a booming business, you can scale, you can automate, and you can still give a shit about people. Those things are not mutually exclusive. They just require intentional design. Hospitality isn't anti-growth, it's anti-extraction. It's pro-relationship. It's pro-sustainability. And selfishly, it's pro not hating your own business. If you felt the subtle disconnect creeping in, you're not broken. The systems might just need to be redesigned through a more human lens. Not slower, not softer, more honest, more steady, more you.